Hey, what's up, bros? Today, we're diving into the top 10 worst games you can buy on PlayStation. Trust me, you don't want to waste your money on these. We're talking games so bad, they make you question the very fabric of reality. Like, how did these even get released? Yeah, get ready for some serious cringe, because these games are the ultimate gaming fails. First up, we've got Ride to Hell Retribution. This game is like a fever dream gone wrong. The graphics are so bad, it's like playing a PS2 game that's been left out in the sun too long. And the voice acting, bro, it's like they hired people off the street who had never seen a microphone before. Seriously, it's that bad. And don't even get me started on the controls. It's like trying to steer a shopping cart full of angry badgers. Next up is Aliens Colonial Marines. I was so hyped for this game, brothers. Aliens, man. How could they screw that up? Well, they found a way. The gameplay is buggy as hell, the story is about as interesting as watching paint dry, and the AI is dumber than a box of rocks. They should rename this game Aliens Colonial Disappointments. Oh boy, here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog, 2006. Where do I even begin with this dumpster fire? This game is a masterclass in how not to make a Sonic game. Glitches everywhere, terrible camera angles, and don't even get me started on that human princess love interest. Just no. Chapter 4, Rambo the Game, more like Rambo the Snoozefest. Next, we have Rambo the Video Game. This game is about as exciting as watching grass grow. It's a rail shooter, which is already a pretty dated genre, but this game takes it to a whole new level of boring. The gameplay is repetitive, the graphics are bland, and it just feels completely soulless. Even John Rambo himself couldn't save this game. Chapter 5, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, Tony Hawk's Pro Disaster, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. This one hurts, bros. The Tony Hawk games were my childhood, but this game is an insult to the legacy of the franchise. It's riddled with technical issues, the levels are uninspired, and the whole thing just feels rushed and unfinished. It's like they took all the worst parts of skateboarding games and crammed them into one horrible package. Chapter 6. The Quiet Man, more like The Quiet Refund. The Quiet Man, this game is confusing. I'm not even sure what I played, to be honest. The narrative is all over the place. The gameplay is clunky and awkward, and the whole thing just feels like a fever dream gone wrong. It's like they tried to make an art house film disguised as a video game, and it just didn't work. Chapter 7. Umbrella Corps. Resident Snoozevil, Umbrella Corps. This game is supposed to be a spin-off of the Resident Evil series, but it's about as scary as a teddy bear. The horror elements are non-existent, the action is repetitive and boring, and the whole thing just feels like a cheap cash grab. Avoid this one like the plague, bros. Chapter 8, Life of Black Tiger, more like Life of Black Screen of Death, Life of Black Tiger. This game is so bad it's almost legendary. The graphics are atrocious, the controls are about as responsive as a brick wall, and the story is just bizarre. It's like they took every bad video game stereotype and crammed them into one game. Chapter 9. Flat Out 3, Chaos and Destruction, more like Boredom and Disappointment. Flat Out 3, Chaos and Destruction. This racing game is anything but chaotic or destructive. The controls are clunky and frustrating, the tracks are bland and uninspired, and the whole thing just feels like a cheap knockoff of better racing games. Chapter 10. Rogue Warrior, more like Rogue Waste of Money. And finally, we have Rogue Warrior. This first-person shooter is about as generic and forgettable as they come. The AI is dumber than a bag of hammers, the voice acting is laughably bad, and the story is about as interesting as watching paint dry. Avoid this one like the plague, brothers. Outra worst of the worst? You've been warned. And there you have it, bros. The top 10 worst games to buy on PlayStation. Save your money and avoid these at all costs. Seriously, you're better off spending your hard-earned cash on literally anything else. These games are the gaming equivalent of a dumpster fire. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content. And let me know in the comments below what you think are the worst PlayStation games of all time. I'm always down for a good roast session.